Sometimes the truth doesn't just knock, it explodes into your life, shattering everything you thought you knew in an instant. For Emily, it was a tiny, blinking light she'd never noticed before. A hidden camera in her own bedroom, quietly recording her most private moments. She thought she was building a life with Jake, her boyfriend, and trusted her best friend Sarah completely, never suspecting either of them. But this camera was about to reveal a betrayal so deep it would shatter her world and leave her questioning everything. The device wasn't for security, it was a deliberate act, a silent witness to a secret she never could have imagined. Emily's discovery was accidental, just a routine cleaning, a finger brushing a lens that shouldn't be there, a moment that changed everything. At first, confusion, then dread. Why would Jake hide a camera? Why hadn't he told her, or even hinted at something so invasive? The footage wasn't for protection. It was a record of the ultimate betrayal, starring Jake and Sarah, the two people she trusted most. Emily's sanctuary had become a stage for their deception, a place where trust was broken in the worst way. The truth, captured on video, would destroy the life she thought she knew, leaving her to pick up the pieces alone. This is how Emily's world was torn apart, and how, in the end, the ugly truth set her free to start again. To understand the betrayal, you need to know the players. Emily, loyal, loving, and trusting. She saw Jake as her future and Sarah as her sister. Jake, charming, devoted on the surface but craving the thrill of secrets. Sarah, Emily's lifelong confidant, the keeper of every secret, except the one that mattered most. Their lives were intertwined, a web of love and friendship. Emily believed their bond was unbreakable. But while she built a life on trust, Jake and Sarah built a secret world of their own. They were a team, but not for Emily's benefit. Their teamwork was rooted in lies, and Emily was the unsuspecting target. She was the victim in a story she never saw coming. The signs were there, subtle cracks in the foundation. Jake worked late more, came home distant, glued to his phone, angling it away from Emily. Their conversations faded into silence. Affection disappeared. Emily felt alone, questioning herself, wondering why he was pulling away. She confided in Sarah, who listened and reassured her it was just a rough patch. But Sarah was hiding the truth. The loneliness grew, the silence at night deafening. Emily tried to reconnect, but Jake's enthusiasm was gone. Every small rejection added up, leaving Emily insecure and isolated. She had no idea she was sharing her fears with the very person betraying her. The missing piece was right beside her all along. In today's world, secrets often hide behind screens and passcodes, making it harder than ever to know what's really going on. Jake's phone was always with him, never left unattended, not even for a moment. One night, Emily glimpsed a message from Sarah. "Tonight was amazing. Can't stop thinking about it." The words echoed in her mind. Confusion and suspicion took root, growing stronger with every passing day. Jake's sudden interest in smart gadgets led to a new digital clock in their bedroom, a device he insisted on setting up himself. He set it up himself, oddly invested for someone who never cared about tech or gadgets before. Emily dismissed it as a new hobby, unaware it was a silent spy in their sanctuary. The secrecy, the message, the new gadget, none made sense, but all pointed to something deeply wrong. Emily's anxiety grew. Her gut screamed for answers she couldn't ignore. She battled between trust and suspicion, desperate for the truth, torn by what she felt and what she feared. The clues were there, waiting to be connected, if only she dared to look closer. She couldn't ignore them any longer, not if she wanted peace of mind. The storm of doubt was about to break, and Emily could feel it coming. Emily was ready to find out the truth, no matter the cost or the consequences. The truth arrived on a quiet afternoon. Cleaning the bedroom, Emily discovered the hidden camera in the clock. Her hands shook as she removed the memory card and loaded it onto her laptop. Fear and nausea battled inside her, but she pressed play. The first videos were innocent. just daily life. Then, a file from last week. Jake enters, followed by Sarah. Emily watched, frozen, as they kissed and fell into her bed. It wasn't a mistake. It was routine, practiced, comfortable. Every touch, every laugh, every kiss was a knife to Emily's heart. The audio was off, but the betrayal was loud and clear. They weren't just cheating, they were performing, right in her sanctuary. The evidence was undeniable. Emily's world collapsed in a single brutal moment. Emily sat numb, the images replaying in her mind over and over. Rage soon replaced shock, flooding her with a sense of betrayal she'd never imagined. She saved the video, her hands trembling, and waited in silence for the right moment. When Jake came home, she showed him the footage. No words, just undeniable proof. Jake's excuses fell flat, unable to mask the truth. Emily cut him off, demanding the truth with a voice that shook but did not waver. He confessed. 6 months of lies, 6 months of betrayal and secrecy. Emily ended it, cold and final, and told him to leave without looking back. Then she called Sarah. "I know," was all she said, her voice steady but broken. Sarah's apologies and tears meant nothing now, not after everything that had happened. Emily had seen the teamwork, the calculated deception, the way they hid things together. The worst part wasn't just the affair, it was the collaboration, the shared lies and secrets. While Emily confided in Sarah, Sarah was feeding information to Jake behind her back. They covered for each other, lied to her face, and destroyed her trust completely. The affair was a wound, but the conspiracy was a deeper violation, cutting to her core. Emily realized she'd been betrayed by the two people she trusted most in the world. The truth was devastating, but it was finally out, and she could begin to heal. The days after were a blur of pain and clarity. Emily's home felt poisoned, her future erased. But the anxiety and suspicion were gone, replaced by the hard, ugly truth. She cut Jake and Sarah out of her life completely. Ending a 5-year relationship and a lifelong friendship was agony. But she needed to erase them to heal. There could be no forgiveness for a betrayal this deep. The hidden camera, as horrific as it was, became her blessing. It forced her to see reality and gave her the strength to walk away. Emily learned she could survive the unimaginable. The end of this chapter was the start of something new. Facing the truth was the first step toward healing. The pain was immense, but so was the freedom that followed.